In this episode of John's Arcade, we're going to check out a new game. That is right, guys, and the game is right here. Yes, it is a Laserdisc game. Yes, I'm a laser guy. Then we're going back to the table. We're going to do some viewer mail. All right, guys, let's get on with the show. Hey, guys, we are in the basement, and today we're going to do a John's Arcade gameplay review. That is right, guys, and actually, in this video, we're going to play a game that I have never been good at. This is a game that I played a few times in my life, and I just have never been able to figure this game out. This game is impossible to me. And now, we're going to play it here in the basement. And you know what? I mean, when I was a kid, I certainly encountered this game, okay? I remember this game as a kid, okay? And I thought it was amazing, okay? But it was very intimidating for a couple of reasons. Well, I think the main reason is that it costs 50 cents to play this game, okay? Now, imagine a 12-year-old John, he's got $1 in his pocket. What's he gonna do? You're gonna play 4 games of Tapper. I can play 4 games for $1, or 2 of these games, okay? And the game we're talking about, of course, is right here. It's inside this case, and yes, it is a Laserdisc game, and I am a laser guy. But anyway, here's the game right here, okay? This is a Pioneer Laserdisc, okay, and it says Space Ace, copyright 1983 Magicom, okay? Now, Space Ace is the second Cinematronic's Laserdisc game, okay? The first one, of course, we all know, is Dragon's Lair. So let's go over here, right? And I know you guys are saying, well, John, how are you going to play that game? You don't have a Space Ace cabinet. Well, actually, Dragon's Lair and Space Ace have a very similar hardware, okay? And Cinematronics actually sold a conversion kit that would convert Dragon's Lair to Space Ace. And it was like a ROM swap and a control panel swap and stuff like that, okay? Now, we're not going to have to go through all of that. We're not going to have to swap ROMs or control panels because I have the Merlin board in here, okay? Now, if you guys remember in a previous Dragon's Lair video, we installed this modern board. It's called the Merlin board. It's made by Sean Wood. And it's this little, like, daughter board that goes on the main game PCB that essentially allows me to use a handful of more modern Laserdisc players, okay? More reliable Laserdisc players. So right now I have a Pioneer LDV 8000 Laserdisc player, which is a much newer and robust Laserdisc player compared to the original one that was in here, which was a 1000. And I think the Laserdisc player I have in here right now is like 7 or 8 years newer than the one that came in this game. So anyway, I got this board in here that allowed me to upgrade my Laserdisc player to a more reliable one. And then this board also has all of the ROM sets for all of the versions of Dragon's Lair and also all of the ROM sets for Space Ace. So what that means is that we can pull this game out, open up the Laserdisc player, pop Space Ace in there, and bam, now we can play Space Ace. So what do you guys think? You want to do that? I do, actually. I've actually had this disc here for a few weeks, and I have to tell you a little story because I've been trying to find a working Space Ace Laserdisc for a while, okay? And I actually bought one before, about a year ago, I think. And one of you guys out there in the UK actually sent me a link to an eBay auction in the UK. It was like $85 shipped, I think, for a Space Ace Laserdisc, and it was like an amazing shape. It looked perfect, and I got it home here, I put it in my player, and it wouldn't work, okay? It was like skipping and stopping on certain tracks, like dead nuts, and there was tons of snow. It had what they call laser rot, okay? And actually, it all turned out okay because the guy I bought it from turned out to be super cool, and I told him, I said, hey man, I know that you said this disc was working, and it looked really good, but it has really bad laser rot, and when you buy these on eBay, you are kind of rolling the dice because you just don't know what you're going to get. And so that seller ended up refunding my money. And awesome guy. Actually, it turns out the guy I bought it from runs the JAMA Plus forums in the UK. So you guys in the UK might know who he is. I don't remember his name, to be honest. This was a while ago. But anyway, flash forward a few weeks ago, my buddy Brian Jones, okay, also known as Proc, on like Clove. Brian Jones actually has a website called GameStencils.com, and he messaged me because he was sponsoring our Brofest tournament, and he said, hey John, I know you're looking for a Space Ace disc. I actually have one on the shelf that I'm just not using at all. And he's like, I have no idea if it works or if it's good, but I'll just throw it in and give it to you. So Brian, thank you very much for sending this to me. And the disc is in okay shape. Okay, it's got some scratches and stuff. I'm not going to worry about that. We're not going to clean this. When they talk about laser rot, my understanding is this. Now, this is kind of like a big DVD or CD, but not really. There's like a sheet of aluminum in here that I think is like die cut. Maybe, I don't know how they slice it up, but you can see the little ridges in here. And there's like a sheet of aluminum, really thin, shiny aluminum. Again, this is my layman understanding. It's like mounted to the back of this piece of aluminum here, and then there's a piece of plexi over it. And I guess that shiny aluminum layer over time starts degrading, and that's like the laser rot they talk about. So we don't even, and really, you can't tell by looking at a disc. You can have a disc with no scratches in it, and it has laser rot, because that's what happened with me on that last disc. So this one has scratches, and Brian doesn't know if it works, but I'm not going to be discouraged here. Let's put it in the game and see what happens. And by the way, check out Brian's website, though, GameStencils.com, and Brian, thanks for the disc, bro. Actually, from Brian, I bought these tapper buttons. Burger Time buttons. He sells these pepper buttons on his website at GameStencils.com. He's got a lot of great reproduction parts over there, so check it out. And he also runs the Free Play Orlando trade show that maybe I might be going to that, to be honest. But anyway, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna pull the Dragon's Lair out, and I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. I have a spectator monitor up here, which is a Sony PVM, like commercial quality, like CRT, and I actually really like that up there. But anyway, I have to pull this game out and also kind of be careful of that monitor, because we need to get to the back of the game so we can change the laser disc. So I'm gonna go ahead and just yank this game out. All I'm gonna do is just kind of open the coin door and just kind of gradually pull it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. All right, I got the game out. I just kind of, I didn't really like pull the coin door, because you can actually rip off the front panel, but I kind of put my hand on there and just kind of rocked it back and forth to get it out. And it wasn't too bad. It's just a really big, bulky cabinet. And so we've got it in the position here, so we should be able to get to the Laserdisc player itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off and unplug this. And I just need to be kind of a little bit careful here how we do this. So let's see if we can just pull this open, okay, and we can. And so here's our Laserdisc player. Now we're gonna have to eject this. And I actually have this sitting on some wood, so this door here can come open. And I'm gonna have to do this, I have to turn the game on actually to get the old Laserdisc out. So where's our power cord? Let's get that back. And I also need to check out the dip switch settings on the Merlin card, because the Merlin card has special dip switch settings for Space Ace, and I'm not sure it's going to be lined up exactly with what we're doing. So, because you could set the dip switch settings for a dedicated cabinet, which has these extra buttons where you could select the level, or if you're using a Dragon's Lair cabinet that has less buttons, you could set it so you can select the level on screen. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead here, I'm going to turn the game on, and I'm going to hit eject on here, which is this button, it looks like. So let's turn this on, let's hit eject. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove our, let me turn the game off. So we're gonna go ahead here and pull our Dragon's Lair disc out. I have to tell you though, I'm a little conflicted on what we're gonna do here long term. Because really, I like Dragon's Lair a lot more than Space Ace, or at least I think I do. I've heard people say though that they like Space Ace more, but really, I think long term, I'm going to be rolling with Dragon's Lair, but it would be kind of fun to mix it up, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So, all right, so let's put this in here. Now, we're going to have to go to the front of the game really fast, because when this game boots with the Merlin card, it actually asks you which game you want to boot into, and we're going to have to select Space Ace. So let me turn the game on. We're going to close this. All right, let me see what's going on the screen. All right, so right now I'm selecting, let me actually show you guys. I'm gonna turn the game off, and let me get the camera up here. Okay, so we're in front of the game. I'm gonna turn it on, and then when it boots up, it's gonna ask us which ROM set to load, okay? And so we gotta wait for that to pop up on the screen, and we're gonna select Space Ace. Okay, so it says selected ROM set. Space Ace Enhancement is like a fan-made version, and Space Ace version A3, that's the one we want to do. That's like the last production version. So I'm kind of a purist, so let's do the original commercial version. All right, so let's see what happens. I have no idea if this disc works here, so we're going to let it boot up, and I really hope we see some Space Ace here in a second. Now, I have the Merlin board set to free play, so it should honor that on all of the games, but there are some game-specific dip switch settings that we might have to change on that Merlin card. But this better boot. So far, we got nothing. The player's just flashing. I'm not confident it's playing right now. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah.
Space Ace.
Sweet.
Defender of justice, truth on the planet Earth. Ace is being attacked by
all right, that's awesome.
Hold your fire.
I mean, come on. This is so elite, right? Let me turn the volume down.
No way, Orville, buddy.
Oh. I've been hit. By the Infanto Ray.
Struggle with Dex.
So this game has like 2 channels. Boy, this disc actually looks pretty okay.
Defeat the evil board.
I mean, come on. I mean, when I was 12 years old and I see this playing in an arcade, I mean, it blew my freaking mind.
Be valiant, space warrior. The fate of
All right, so let's start a game. It says it should be on free play.
There's Bor's ship.
The music is so great in this game. Oops, I just died. See, I don't know what to do. I died already. I'm pressing left, left. Energize, which is the button. Ah, God damn it.
You cannot win.
All right. Oh my God, dude. Okay, do you see what's going on here? My game's like over. Actually, it's on infinite lives. No, it isn't. It's weird. The scoreboard is all messed up. It says 3412 dash lives H lives 02. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to take a look at those credits. I wonder if that's to select the level or something. Is H hard?
There's Bor's ship.
See, I don't know what to do. And you know what? This game is going to take me forever to figure out. Okay, left. Left. Energize, which is the button. He turns into this, like, Space Ace big dude. All right, hit the zapper. I hit left, which is wrong.
You cannot win.
Left. Oh. I don't know what to do. All right. So, what do you think of this? I mean, do you understand how hard this game is? I mean, do you see that why this was a problem for me when I was a kid? I mean, why would I spend 50 cents for that? I mean, I already wasted like $1. What was that, 2 games, $1? But I'm wondering if I have it on hard. It says H Live, 02 credits. So I want to investigate the dip switch settings. And I printed out Sean Wood's settings here because he's got some settings that we need to really look at. Because it says here to change... There's a couple dip switches that are really important, which is Dragon's Lair version F2, Space Ace, no, Enhancement, version 1. Okay, so here it is. Skill level selection, okay? It says use control panel skill level buttons on a dedicated cabinet. We don't have that. The other option is on a Dragon's Lair cabinet, use on-screen selection menu, but dip switch B5 needs to be on. So I need to turn that on. So let me go back there and let's do that real quick. All right, I had the game turned off and I just took the back door off. So let's kind of come in here freeform. And I'm looking for dip switch B5, okay, which is in a tricky spot down there. So the dip switches are right there, those 2 blue guys right here. And I need B5 to be on. And, okay, so it's this one over here. And B5 right now is on, okay? So, is it that I don't understand how to use the on-screen menu? Actually, do I read the letters that are on the board or the numbers on the thing? I think I'm supposed to... Actually, let me double check that, because if you look at the board, The board is screened B0 through B7, but the actual switch itself is labeled 1 through 8. So I need to change switch B5, which is technically number 6, and it is on. I see that it's on. So is it that I don't understand how to use the on-screen menu? Is that why the H is up there? Let me research this real quick. Okay, John just figured out why I'm not getting the on-screen menu to select difficulty, because there's like 3 levels of difficulty on Space Ace. Well, I was reading the new manual for the Merlin card, which is version 3.0, the firmware. I'm actually sporting version 2.3, if you guys see right there. And on the version I have, which is only like a year old, it did not have that support for on-screen level select. So I'm gonna have to talk to Sean Wood and see if I can get a firmware update or get the ROM image and burn my own. So I checked the dip switch settings. I actually have it on Cadet, which is the easiest level, and I still suck. So anyway, maybe we'll revisit this, and I'll talk to Sean and see if we can get the new ROM version, and we can update our Merlin card so we can select the levels. But I guess this game is just hard, and really, I'm just not good at it. So I don't know. You guys want to try it again? I mean, should we try it a few times and just see if we can get a little bit better? I have to say I'm very stoked that this is actually working, though, because, so Brian, thank you, pal. This disc actually looks pretty decent, and we've got our little track thing up there. That's pretty awesome, right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with Space Ace for a while here, because I played a lot of Dragon's Lair. I actually love Dragon's Lair. I truly, genuinely like it. I'm not getting much better at it, but I do like it. So let's try this again.
There's Bor's ship.
All right.
Close, wing, wing.
So I'm gonna press right. Press right. Okay. Left. Get the hang of this. Left. Energize. Laser. Oh, I should have went right there. Okay. So it's just kind of like learning these patterns. We're getting better though. So left. Forward. Oh, I see. Forward. Oh.
You cannot win.
I mean, this animation is by Don Bluth, guys, you know, who was a Disney animator. So, I mean, this is world-class, super high-caliber artwork in a video game. I mean, come on.
Sure. I'm just kidnapped by aliens,
I love,
that's all.
you know, hot little chick and this nerdy guy rescuing her. So great. All right, what's going on here? Oh, I guess I was supposed to press up. All right, you want to try this one more time?
There's Bor's ship.
Close, wing, wing.
I think I have gotten further than I've ever gotten before. Okay, right. I don't know if I have this on a harder difficulty, because there are like other settings. Energize, so he turns into the Super Space Ace dude. Fire. Right. Oh, what the hell is that? So there is a little bit of randomness to the levels. So I get hit and now I'm smaller. So this one you go right and left. Oh, what do you do there?
You cannot win.
So I think I have it on a little more forgiving level because it's not making me replay the level I died on. I think that's one of the settings.
Oh, sure. I'm just kidnapped by aliens, that's all.
I'll save you, Kimmy!
Get me out of here!
All right, so I'm gonna go up, right, up. It's a branching level there. Oh, I fired. That was good. Right. Fire. Okay, this is cool, guys. Down.
Whoa!
Fire.
Space station, request permission to land.
Right.
Aha! Borf is here!
Wow, I'm doing great.
What?
Oh, I just died. So, hey, what do you guys think of this? I mean, come on, that's so cool. So I'm going to put it back in its hole, and I'm going to enjoy this game over the next few weeks. I mean, I'm definitely going to go back to Dragon's Lair, but I'm pretty happy to have this as an option down here. So, I mean, definitely check out that Merlin board. If you got a Dragon's Lair, I really think it's worth getting this little mod because you can put a Laserdisc player that's a little more modern and reliable, and then also you can swap the discs out and enjoy Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, so pretty cool. So I'm going to push this back against the wall, and then I want to do just a quick, like, one single viewer mail here, and then we'll get out of here. This is just kind of a quick midweek video, but pretty awesome. I'm going to actually show you guys this little book I picked up, too, this Space Ace Dragon's Lair book. So let me put the game back in its hole. All right, we got the game back in its hole, and I got to tell you, it's so hard to get these games back in here. I basically had to lay on the floor. I laid on the floor, and I put my feet on, like, the T-molding and just pushed it straight back. So it's in there, so I'll be enjoying some Space Ace. Maybe I'll get better. You know, I am actually a lot better at Dragon's Lair. Maybe we need to revisit Dragon's Lair later, and I can do more of a proper video. I really should practice it, but I'll be practicing Space Ace. And I mean, I know I suck, guys. I'm so bad at this game. I'm telling you the truth when I say this. I mean, I've only played this game a handful of times my entire life. I mean, I've always known about it. I've always seen it, but I never had the money as a kid to get good at it, which was the problem with these games. And I would watch these older kids who were so elite, you know, finish like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, and just unbelievable. Even today, like, we were at Grinkers, and, like, you know, Steve, the owner of Grinkers, can, like, finish both of these games. It just kind of blew my mind. And by the way, there was a dedicated Space Ace cabinet. They actually sold it as conversion kit, and they sold it as a conversion kit to convert Dragon's Lair, which is kind of what we did right there, but we didn't put the marquee on, and we didn't have the full control panel that adds the extra buttons, because you can select the level. But I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is a book I picked up. It's called Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, Collecting for Dragon's Lair and Space Ace by Sid Bolton. It's a real light read, but it's kind of a fun book to just kind of browse through. And it basically shows, like, every single product that has ever existed for Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. You know, so the first half of the book is all Dragon's Lair. It shows the different arcade versions. Okay, so here's the original 1983. This is the one that I have. And then there was a European version that was distributed by Atari. And the one thing to note on this one is that it doesn't have a scoreboard, okay? There's an Atari logo right here, whereas mine has an LED scoreboard right here. On this one, actually, there was on-screen scoring. And then there's some really rare ones. There's an Italian version by Atari also, in Saddam or something. There was an Australian version by Leisure Allied. So that's all the different Dragon's Lair arcade games, and then there's all these different Dragon's Lair 2 games. My buddy Jay has this one right here by Leland. And then there's also an anniversary version, which is an Ultracade version, which is some sort of a PC version. It says here it doesn't use a Laserdisc, but rather a specialized computer with a hard drive and a 19-inch monitor. And they also made, like, a 25th anniversary cabinet with this Ultracade format. So, yeah, this book's kind of fun. It shows all the home versions, the Coleco Atom and all that. And, like, all the PC versions. And it's kind of a fun read, you know? It shows, like, all the little toys and posters and all kinds of stuff that came out for Dragon's Lair. Even Windows 95. You can play all this stuff on iOS, too, and Android. There's a Game Boy Color version, if you could believe it. So, fun little book. And then if you come back here, we've got all the Space Ace stuff, okay? And then Dragon's Lair, there's trading cards. I mean, it just goes on and on. And this book literally shows, like, everything. So these are the Space Ace arcade versions, okay? So we have this one here, which is the first release of Space Ace, was offered as an upgrade kit to Dragon's Lair, featuring a new control panel that added the extra buttons so you could select the levels, difficulty level, and it had a new marquee. It had side art, a new Laserdisc, and EEPROMs for the circuit board. By replacing these items, you now had a working Space Ace machine at a fraction of a cost. And then they had the dedicated one, which I really think is cool. I mean, if I ever had a chance to get one of these fairly inexpensively, I would grab it. The later dedicated Space Ace cabinets that were released are sometimes called inverted and are a different shape and contain different side art, marquee, and even the control panel. Finding this release would be a bit tougher than getting a converted cabinet. And I also believe that Cinematronics did some factory conversions as well. Like, the first ones came out in the Dragon's Lair style cabinet, and then they switched over to this more unique cabinet just for the game. And then also they had the Italian version, a European Atari version, And then these Australian versions, which, by the way, is super cool. And then there was a 1991 Leland version, which I've never seen. That is really neat. And then also the Ultracade Combo, which is a modern 2006 model with it was shipped on a CD-ROM and came with a special USB key. So this is kind of like a PC version with a CD-ROM. So anyway, this is a cool little book. You can get this on Amazon. It's a very light read, though. You're basically just looking at pictures. But I've really gone through this book, and there's some interviews with some collectors and stuff. Neat little book. It's called Collecting for Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. I don't know, I just thought I'd bring it out for this video just because we're talking about this topic. So, I don't want to keep you guys too long here, middle of the week. I have one viewer mail that I thought we'd read. Why not? Let's do at least one. So, by the way, if you guys want to participate in the viewer mail segment, you need to email them to me, okay? And if you guys got questions for me, comments, it doesn't matter. Just send it. I like the viewer mail segment. And actually, I'm wondering, what do you guys think about if I do a video once a month or so that is only viewer mail? Maybe a midweek thing, you know, and not to take away from the restoration videos or anything. You know, maybe we do a midweek video once a month that is like, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes long, and it's only viewer mails. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments, because if you guys think that's a good idea, I might start doing those, because I really like the viewer mail, and if you guys want to send them, please do, to blkdog, the number 7 at gmail.com. That's blkdog7 at gmail.com. And please, in the subject line, put viewer mail, otherwise I won't find it, okay? This first one isn't necessarily, actually the only one we're going to read, isn't about arcade games, but I thought it was kind of fun. So Rick from Bingham, New York, he says, John, loving all the Restore material. My question is this: what are your all-time favorite console games that are not Nintendo? Keep up the great videos. That's a great question, because, you know, I think a lot of you guys know I'm a Nintendo guy, okay? And my favorite console games really are mostly Nintendo, you know? Like Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is a favorite of mine. Mario Sunshine, I freaking love that game. I think that's my favorite Mario game. And I also love Twilight Princess. I think my favorite Zelda games are Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and then maybe Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time. And then as far as Mario's go, I love Sunshine, and I love Mario 64. The Galaxy series was okay. It wasn't as good to me as Sunshine. But anyway, well, a lot of my favorite console games from back in the day are actually Rare games, which is kind of Nintendo, but, you know, like, I love Blast Corps on the Nintendo 64, which is this fun, like, you're blowing up buildings and stuff. The object of the game was basically to drive around in these vehicles and smash into stuff and try to demolish buildings. It was just so much fun. I loved Blast Corps. I mean, come on, GoldenEye. I mean, that was really the first-person shooter for me, you know, especially playing local multiplayer. That GoldenEye just blew my mind. I actually bought GoldenEye on my honeymoon. True story. I was in Florida with my wife on our honeymoon, and the game came out on the honeymoon, and I went to a game store and I bought it, and I must have read that manual 7,000 times, just anticipating the moment, you know, to get home and play GoldenEye. I'm on the plane on the way home reading it, you know, I'm like, I cannot wait to try this game. And then my buddy picks us up at the airport. We go to my apartment at the time, and we run upstairs. You know, we're done with the honeymoon. My buddy Kenny and I, we go upstairs and we pop in GoldenEye, and we start playing the multiplayer. And my God, that game was so important to me for a couple of years of my life. Baseball Stars is a game that I really remember as a kid, because on the NES, my buddies and I, we were so addicted to Baseball Stars. I mean, we had seasons going. It was a battery-backed up game. You could make your own players. I had, like, the Oakland A's, like Jose Canseco and Mark McGwire and stuff. I was really into Baseball Stars. I mean, those are the games that, like, come to my mind, like, instantly, you know? And then later on, you know, I got into the first-person shooters after GoldenEye. Mostly the military stuff, you know, like Counter-Strike on the PC. I was there very early playing that game, you know, the early beta of that game even. And then I moved on to, like, Battlefield 1942, and I've been in love with the Battlefield series ever since. And then I got my first Xbox, and then I was crazy about Rainbow Six. Like Black Arrow was, like, my favorite first-person shooter for a long time. I have so many terrific memories of playing Xbox Live late at night, drinking some beer, probably why I got fat during that time, because I was just literally playing so much Xbox Live and Rainbow Six, and that was a no respawn game. So I would die, I'd get up, I'd have a beer, and I honestly, I think that's why I started gaining weight when I moved out here. Because it was right after I moved out to New England, and I guess I just started playing too many video games. And then today, today my favorite games are Battlefield, Hardline and Battlefield 4, and I actually love the new Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. I mean, I definitely have some other favorites, on NES, of course I played Castlevania, all the Konami classics. I love Goonies, even the games I play down here still that were on the NES, Goonies and Castlevania. Metroid was a Nintendo game. I seem to really remember Kid Nicky for some reason. Like, I really want a Kid Nicky PCB because they actually made an arcade version of Kid Nicky. And then the 2600, like, River Raid was so elite to me. Pitfall, I mean, come on, So yeah, I've been playing these games since I've been a small child, and since Pong. I mean, my first thing was Pong, so my dad bought that at a garage sale, and he said to me, John, you can have this Pong, but you have to mow the lawn first, and that was the fastest I ever mowed my lawn. So anyway, and the rest is history. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. By the way, if you've never subscribed to my channel, now's a great time. I release new videos every Sunday and sometimes in between. So if you want to keep up, this is one of the in-between videos. So if you want to keep up, you got to click subscribe, and that way you get kind of notifications when I release videos. And then, of course, again, send viewer mails to blkdog7@gmail.com. And if you guys want to support me, there is an option to do that on the homepage. If you want to kick in some shekels, press that support button. And really, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys really soon. This weekend, we're going to be back in the garage. I really want to kick some butt on that jump bug this weekend. That's the plan. We have a long weekend here in the States for Memorial Day weekend. So look for that video on Sunday, maybe Monday. We'll see. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you next time. Later, and bye.